You know, for a holiday season that's supposed to be all peppermint mocha and having the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny Kaye, Christmas has some of the most wild and weird and downright bloodiest horror movies ever made. Maybe it's the pressure, maybe it's the weather, or maybe Santa just snapped. I don't know, but what I do know is that every December I like to unwrap the darker side of the season. So today we are counting down the 10 best Christmas horror movies of all time. So pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. All right, now before we dive in here, let's set the mood just a little bit. This isn't going to be a ranking of any kind of Christmas horror TV episodes or cozy Hallmark flicks where people find love on a tree farm and kick the city guy out for the guy in flannel. No. This is the Christmas list for kids who grew up roaming the horror aisles at the mom and pop video rental stores and blockbusters across the country. The ones who saw snow, Santa, and stockings and thought, yeah, this could use just a little bit more carnage. All right, this is your list, and let's get to it, starting at number 10 with 1989's Elves. We're kicking off this list with a movie that feels like someone dared the filmmakers. They said, look, make a Christmas horror flick with $5 and a college cafeteria with lights that looks like a mall, and by God, they did it. Elves is delirious and it is great low budget fun. It's like a fever dream about genetically engineered elves who, yes, that's true, who return in a ancient prophecy that they are fulfilling. Only one man can stop them, and it is Grizzly Adams himself. Dan Haggerty stumbling through scenes with the energy of a guy who wandered in onto the set holding his morning coffee after being awake all night. But here's why Elves belongs on this list. It is pure, unfiltered, late 80s VHS, so bad it's good era horror. It's the kind of bad that like makes you grin and smile the whole time. It's unpredictable, a little sleazy, a little weird, and it is absolutely Christmas horror comfort food for fans who love deep cut horror. Elves kicks us off at number 10. Now at number 9, I'm going to get into some controversy because this one kicked off another more famous film by the same lead actor from this list, and I am going with 2022's The Mean One. You're a mean one, David Howard Thornton. And this is what happens when a studio realizes that parody laws are wild and nothing is sacred. The Mean One is basically, what if the Grinch was a slasher? In all honesty, that's all they needed. You watch the holiday carnage unfold and you watch it for the wild wink at the camera attitude. They know what they're doing here. And the aforementioned David Howard Thornton is the guy who played Art the Clown, and it kicks Terrifier 3 right off of my list and replaces it with him being the mean one himself. It absolutely crushes as a murderous, Grinch who is basically a goblin Bigfoot style at this time, but the makeup looks really good. He's just got an axe to grind against Christmas and everything associated with it. Is it goofy? Hell yes. Is it got a little more CGI than I would like? Absolutely. Is it fun? Oh yes, it is fun. Where Terrifier kind of goes cartoonish levels and it just kind of is a turnoff, this one toes the line a little bit better, and the Grinch Mayhem just adds something to it. This is one of those movies you pop in with your friends, grab a spiked eggnog and yell at the screen. It earns its spot here for embracing Christmas horror spirit madness and being unapologetically over the top. Now coming in at number 8 is 2015's Krampus. Finally, a legit studio Christmas horror film that understands the assignment, because Krampus is the rare modern Christmas movie that feels like a throwback to almost like Amblin era filmmaking. If I really sat and thought about this one probably could go higher, probably should be a couple spots higher. We're going to leave it right here because it does have those Amblin Entertainment vibes, which sounds weird for a Christmas horror movie where people occasionally get ripped into hell, which is what you got here. The plot's simple. A dysfunctional family loses the Christmas spirit, and the ancient demon Krampus rolls up like the world's angriest mall Santa substitute. And that's why it's great, because Michael Daughtry treats Christmas mythology with the same respect he gave Halloween lore in Trick or Treat, which is one of my favorite all-time horror films. The creature effects kick ass. They are chef's kiss. The tone walks that perfect tightrope between dark comedy and genuine holiday chills, but still has that Spielberg-esque Joe Dante Gremlins thing happening underneath it. It's a movie that basically said, you know what's missing from Christmas? A giant goat demon and some killer gingerbread people. And honestly, they were right. Krampus comes in at number 8. Now at number 7 is just a personal favorite, and you can argue if you want. I don't care. That's what makes these lists so great. But I'm going with 1987's Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, Garbage Day. This is without question one of the most accidentally entertaining Christmas horror sequels of all time. It's half a recycled movie from the original with like 40 minutes of the original film footage in here. And it occasionally does move the acting in the new one to like community theater levels, you know, not Shakespeare by any means, but Eric Freeman's performance in this as Ricky with the eyebrows, seriously, doing 90% of the emotional heavy lifting. It's Garbage Day. Oh man, it is one of the most iconic lines in bad movie history. Garbage Day. You're just going to say that a million times when you're finished with it. Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 earns its ranking here because it represents everything that is wonderfully weird about the VHS horror boom. It's the kind of movie you rented because the cover looked insane and it delivered exactly that brand of nonsense that it promised. You got to have it here. Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, Garbage Day comes in at number 7. Now, when we're talking crazy movies, we have to talk 1997's Jack Frost. Not the wholesome Michael Keaton movie. No, that one came after this one. This Jack Frost is about a serial killer who becomes a killer snowman after a freak accident involving experimental chemicals, of course, like mixes his DNA with the snow because horror science doesn't need rules. I mean, it's just like getting bit by a radioactive spider. But this Jack Frost is absolutely a bonkers movie in the best way. Self-aware, campy, and it delivers exactly what the cover promises. A snowman stabbing people to death, one-liners, puppet effects. The snowman looks different in every scene. Low-budget brilliance. Let's just say shower scenes with Shannon Elizabeth involving carrots and all kinds of innuendo. Every Christmas horror marathon needs at least one movie where the monster is so ridiculous that you cannot help but root for it. Jack Frost is that movie. It comes in at number 6. Now, number 5 is one that if I was being less objective, I'm trying to be as objective as a filmmaker and all that stuff, but also a film fan. I'm trying to toe that line. But 2005's Santa's Sleigh could be higher. It is just that entertaining. Look, any film where Bill Goldberg, the wrestler, gets to play a murderous Antichrist lore fallen angel version of Santa Claus automatically belongs in the Christmas classic section on your horror shelf. The movie opens with one of the greatest, like just gloriously over the top kill scenes around a dinner table massacre that's ever been put to film, and it has huge cameos from some big stars here. We're talking like James Caan and Fran Drescher and just all kinds of people that you know. Chris Kattan is in here, and it is absolutely crazy. They've got to be wondering why they agreed to this, and then when they saw it, they had to be like, oh, hell yeah, it was that much fun. That's why we did it. And from that point, it never takes its foot off the gas. It only runs like 78 minutes, and it is just sleigh bells to the wall the whole time. And the movie knows exactly what it is. Ridiculous, high energy Christmas slasher with a super cool mythology, comedy, and Santa who looks like he could suplex a reindeer. No kidding. You got a big giant buffalo pulling the sleigh that's just as evil as Santa Claus, who is now off the hook after a couple thousand years of being punished into being holly jolly Father Christmas. This thing is fun, fast, and it is impossible not to enjoy it. I dare you not to have fun with this one. Santa Sleigh could be higher, honestly, but it comes in here at number 5. Now at number 4, we had the sequel. You must have the original that sits behind me over there on the shelf. 1984's Silent Night, Deadly Night. The original holiday slasher revolution starter here with Santa Claus. This film was banned at multiple occasions, yanked from the theaters. Parents across America lost their minds about Billy, a traumatized child who is raised after a tragedy where Santa Claus takes out his parents, and he lives in this joyless, kind of sadistic orphanage with, mean nun who punishes him all the time. And finally, he snaps during one Christmas season and goes on a killing spree dressed as Santa Claus. It's brutal. It is very mean-spirited. There's no doubt about that. And it upsets so many, parents and mall Santas out there that it really did get pulled from the theaters after a week. But here is the thing. The movie just has staying power. It's getting new, beautiful 4K releases. There is a remake being released this year at the movie theater. It's not just a Santa killer flick at all. It's sort of got a commentary to it about repression and that being set loose and all of that stuff. But it's all disguised under the layer of a Christmas grindhouse slasher. Whether that was intentional or not, it hit a nerve and became a cult hit, and we're still talking about it and making remakes and sequels over 40 years later. Now at number 3, you had to be waiting on this one. It's 1974's Black Christmas. One of the first slasher films ever made. We maybe don't get Halloween without Black Christmas, and this is still one of the creepiest horror movies out there. Before Halloween, before Friday the 13th, before every masked maniac hit the cinemas, Black Christmas was giving us creepy, scary, stalking POV shots, creepy, obscene phone calls, and super thick and well done tension. I'm telling you, Bob Clark crafted this thing. The same guy that did A Christmas Story did Black Christmas, and it has a genuinely chilling atmosphere. You've got the snow, the Christmas lights, the decoration, all contrasted with a unseen killer predator hiding in the attic. And that's why it ranks so high, because the movie is just simply good. Whether it's horror, any other, it's just a good movie. Not campy good, not so bad it's good, fun. It's just a damn good movie and legitimately terrifying even today. It's the kind of movie that kind of makes you want to double check your closet before you go to bed, and that is perfection. Black Christmas comes in at number 3. Now, number 2 is one that does not get enough love. It is 2015's A Christmas Horror Story. I'm telling you, this, if you love horror anthologies, you love horror movies, you love Christmas movies, you love Christmas horror movies, this has it all with William Shatner playing your DJ. This anthology film ties multiple like Christmas horror stories together. It has a badass looking Krampus in here, like really old school, real, like the depictions of what Krampus is supposed to look like. And every single segment has a killer hook. But the crown jewel here is the Santa Claus versus Krampus story, the showdown. That earns the top spot. It earns a spot here in the top 3 on its own. But what really elevates the movie is how well it balances tone. This is another one that's not just a so bad it's good type of thing. Like, this is trick or treat level anthology almost for Christmas with a lower budget. It's atmospheric, scary, super clever with a twist you will not see coming and you will talk about forever. The stories weave together really well, like some sort of like crazy Christmas scary story that's being spun by William Shatner in the DJ booth. Its production value is way better than you would expect for the money. I think it's a modern cult classic that deserves a yearly watch. A Christmas Horror Story. Check it out. It comes in at number 2. Now, before we hit number 1, let's unwrap a few little honorable mentions here, because these are movies that didn't quite make the main countdown, but they absolutely deserve a Christmas horror shout out. And first of all is one that I like, but probably a little less than most people, but I see the value in it. It is Better Watch Out. And that is a twisted home invasion story, rips off a little bit of Home Alone, rips off a little bit of this. It has a mid-movie flip that you sniff it coming. I don't dig it as much as most people, but I recognize why people like it. So I mention it on here, but one that is really good, and I'm talking basically like Taxi Driver, is Christmas Evil. And honestly, if you think Taxi Driver at Christmas, if it was about a disgruntled like mall Santa toy maker in a Santa suit, that's what you get with Christmas Evil, a really kind of serious character study. It belongs with a mention, as does Don't Open Till Christmas, which has a great piece of artwork on its cover that I can't show you here, but it is a fun British slasher that turns the tables and starts killing everyone dressed as Santa instead of having Santa being the killer. And then another one is Black Christmas, also known as Black Xmas sometimes. This is the remake of that legendary classic Black Christmas. This is one from 2006 that has that late 90s, early 2000s energy, over the top, neon soaked, like candy colored Christmas horror with some faces you recognize. Definitely deserves a mention here. You could throw Rare Exports in as well, though that one's a little off kilter for me. But I believe these deserve a nice little honorable mention before we get to number 1. And at number 1, come on, you knew this was here. It is Gremlins. There's that Amblin Entertainment with Joe Dante, Steven Spielberg. Not only is Gremlins the best Christmas horror movie of all time, it is one of the best Christmas movies, period. That's what it is. There's so much in here, right down to the radio DJ being a shout out to Indiana Jones. Come on, this thing is pure 1980s magic, part creature feature, part horror, part comedy, part dark fairy tale, wrapped in the coziest Christmas aesthetic ever filmed. Joe Dante and Steven Spielberg created a world that feels nostalgic, but also mischievous, scary, heartwarming, and a little creepy all at the same time. You know the plot of this one. A young boy, Billy, gets a mogwai named Gizmo, the world's cutest pet that everybody wants. He gets laid out a set of rules not to break, and of course, he immediately breaks those rules. Chaos erupts, the gremlins multiply, and suddenly this sleepy town becomes ground zero for Christmas hell. Why is it number 1? Come on, Spielberg and Joe Dante. That should be enough right there. But it is genuinely scary in parts, genuinely funny in others, pretty gruesome in some parts. The creature effects absolutely legendary. The Christmas atmosphere is baked into every single scene. The snow, the lights, the music, all that. I mean, it's basically Bedford Falls, and it contains one of the most darkly, hysterical monologues ever, when you have Phoebe Cates that just stops the movie with the story about her father dressed as Santa Claus breaking his neck inside the chimney. I mean, come on, right there. That is the kind of trauma that us Gen X 80s kids lived on right here. Gremlins is lightning in a bottle. We're still talking about it all these years later. And yes, all these years later, apparently Steven Spielberg along with Chris Columbus are dusting this back off to give us a sequel. This one transcends Christmas and horror films. It is a generational classic. Gremlins comes in at number 1. And there you have it, the 10 best Christmas horror movies of all time, with some honorable mentions in there. But let me know, which ones are your favorites? Did you like any on this list? What did I leave out? I'm sure you're going to let me know down there. But the big thing is to have fun, because all of these movies are so much fun at this time of year. No reason you can't mix these in between the other Christmas classics, and that list is coming soon if it's not out already, because man, we love this time of year. I know I do. It brings out all the feels, and part of those feels are scary. But that's what I got for you this time. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to help support what we do here a little more, you can join my Patreon. The link is in the description, and you'll get your name and lights on every single video, behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, special members only videos, and so much more. And everything helps the channel, and I really do appreciate it. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas. I know.